this is me at my sewing machine. It's an old sewing machine. I've had this one for, I think, close to 30 years. We'll just zoom in a bit on it here. It has quite a variety of stitches. I'm using just this straight stitch right here. This straight stitch right here. And you can use any straight stitch. If you want a zigzag stitch, feel free. If you want to do something fancy, feel free. But if you're looking to buy a sewing machine, you just want to be able to do a good straight stitch. I've got my tension set here, just about 3. I can lower it a little bit. I like 2 when I'm actually sewing garments that are not hand woven, but I find with the woven I need the tension just a little bit looser, the stitch length a little bit looser, so I'm somewhere between 2 and 3. There's my foot plate there. I'm going to bring my towel in. I'm going to take that first clip off and slide this under the foot, and I'm going to pull it back so that the needle is past the beginning of my seam. And I'm just going to line everything up. I can put my foot down. I'm going to do a backwards and a forward. So I'm going to go backwards all the way to the end, and then I'm going to go forward again, and then I'll continue sewing. So if you can't hear me very much because of the sewing machine, you know what I'm doing. So I'm going to go forward a little bit. I'm going to go backwards, right to the end, and then I'm going to go forward again. Now, as I'm sewing, I don't generally use a walking foot. A lot of people do. I used to. I broke it. I found that I wasn't actually getting better hems using the walking foot, so I just use my fingers to ease things along. So when I get to my color changes, I want to try and make those line up as close as possible. So I'm just going to use my fingers to help line those up. A lot of people will tell you to do a thinner hem, like weave the hem thinner than the rest of the towel, and it'll give you better hems. I used to do that. Again, I didn't actually find it made a big difference. And this morning I actually just wove another towel where I did the thinner hem, and it flared quite a bit at the end. So I'm not even sure I really recommend that anymore. But it's totally up to you and on your sewing skills. I'm not a really great seamstress, so maybe I'm just doing something wrong. So when I get to the end, I'm going to hold it here so that everything is lined up, and that's what's going to help stop that flare. So if that means I need to ease a little bit of that top fabric in, I'm just going to do that with my finger. Hold it right to the end, sew to the end, back, and then off the end. That finishes off your seam. It holds everything firm. So if we look, my color changes, my stripes are pretty well lined up. I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm going to do the other side. I have another tool that I like to use. It's fairly new to me. It's Magnetic Seam Guide. You can find a review of it and how to use it on my YouTube channel under reviews. So I'm going to start exactly the same way. I'm going to slide it under. Line up exactly where I want that needle to be. And then I'm going to bring my Magnetic Seam Guide, place it on there. It slides a little bit under the foot, and what that's going to do is I'm not going to have to guide anything. It's just going to guide things so that I don't have to worry about a straight seam. So if you have trouble sewing a straight line, this is definitely going to be helpful to you. So I'm going to do a little forward, and I'm going to go back off the end, and then forward again. So the thing you do have to be careful when you're using that seam guide is to get those clips out of the way before you get to them. So you can see I'm actually sewing a little bit faster because I don't have to worry about keeping a straight line. Again, you should be able to get one of these seam guides at a fabric store. If not, you know, Amazon probably has them as well. Well, I know Amazon has them. I'm just going to hold that at the end. Ease things in as needed. Forwards, backwards, and off the end. And there we go. That is how to hem your towels. Look, the lines are all lined up. That stitch line is perfectly straight all the way along. It's lovely.